Good morning, everyone, and happy Saturday. My name is Callie, and this is another weekend of clarinets, cats, and coffee. In today's video, I am sharing with you 8 tips for you to take home and use in your scale practice on clarinet. And these 8 tips are specific for your pinkies. I'd like to do a shout out to my patrons and my channel members. Thank you all so much for supporting my channel. The past few months have been so busy for me and a little bit of a challenge, and I greatly appreciate everything that you guys have done, and I really value your support. If you like what I'm doing and you're not already a supporter of my channel, please consider becoming a patron or a channel member at the link below. I give away PDFs, I do monthly meetings, and I also do one-on-one meetings. So lots of cool stuff there, and I'd love to see more of you guys there. Okay, so this is what we're all here for. Pinky tips, okay? And they're not just tips, they're rules. Pinky rules, at least in my mind, okay? So, first rule, 99% of the time, you will not have to slide. Okay, that's not really a rule, I guess. Maybe it is, but just want to say, if you're playing in a key signature that's a little bit easier and you find yourself doing like, you know, E flat and C or whatever, all in the same pinky, you're probably doing something wrong, okay? So take a moment, reassess, and find a better way to do it. Okay, rule number 2, this is a really big one. In key signatures with 4 or more sharps, be prepared to do right, left, right with your pinkies. And when I say that, I mean right hand B, left hand C sharp, right hand D sharp. 4 or more sharps is fuzzy cats get dirty, right? So when we have that D sharp in there, that's when things get dirty. Oh man, I just realized that's funny. Okay, that's when things get a little scary. Okay, so also when you do the low register, E, F sharp, G sharp, just like B, C sharp, D sharp, okay? So I'm gonna play it for you. I hope you can see my pinkies. There we go. So I'll do just an E major scale. B major. So the higher up you go, the more likely you are to have to use fingerings that you're not very comfortable with. So this is where scales come in handy, right? It teaches us a lot about technique and playing with proper form. Rule number 3. Yes, I'm sure you all are probably wondering, what about the flat keys? What do I have to keep my eye out for? Same rule applies. 4 or more flats. You're going to have to do some combination of right, left, right. So sometimes you're going to do C, D flat, E flat in the upper register, or you'll do C flat, D flat, E flat. So basically all of our problems here with the pinky keys stem from having just one guy to do E flat. Okay, don't look at this. I have an alternate key right here, and honestly, I almost never use it. So anyway, right, so C, D flat, E flat, going up there, okay? And the same goes as you climb higher up in the flats. Okay, rule number 4. If you take a look at your key signature and you see E flat in the key signature, chances are pretty high that you are going to have to use left hand C at some point. Okay, so we're going to take the easiest one that has E flat in the key signature. That is B flat major. And you've got B flat and E flat in the key signature. Okay, so when you're playing just the B flat scale, you don't have to do left hand C. Right? You can do just your normal see, all the way up. The problem happens whenever you go and you do your thirds, okay? So you've got the skip of the third is when you go up a third, down a second, right? And so on, right? So did you catch that? Very slowly over the break. Right? It would be such a huge mess if you like tried to do C and E flat with the same pinky, okay? So just be on the lookout that once you see E flat in a key signature, there's a good chance you're gonna have to do left hand C. 5, to avoid sliding, sometimes you will have to use all of your pinky keys at some point in a passage. That means that sometimes you will have to do the same note with 2 different pinky keys. So good example is playing thirds in D flat major. Did you catch that? I had to play D flat with both of my pinkies, okay? And I guess I didn't utilize all of my pinky keys, but you get the picture. Be prepared. Sometimes you gotta do weird things. Okay, and this is just a tip. It's not really a rule. You can do what you like, but this really helps me out in scales. When you're playing in key signatures with 3 sharps or less, train yourself to play B natural with your left and C sharp with your right, okay? Your muscle memory will thank you for it, okay? So think about this. I'm gonna do D major, okay? Right? And yeah, technically it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You could do that combination for D major, but the problem happens when you're like in the heat of doing scales and you just did all of your scales that have like all the sharps and all the flats and you're coming down. If you try to do B with your right, C sharp with your left, I guarantee if you don't put a lot of mental energy into thinking about this, you're going to play a D sharp. And like, how embarrassing is that to play D sharp in D major, right? So train yourself to do left hand B and right hand C sharp, because the less you have to think about what you're doing, the easier your life is going to be. Okay, and the last thing is, and I'm going to say this and I think a lot of teachers will agree with me, get out of the habit of pressing the C key down when you're playing B. Like, you can have it there hanging out if you want, but you really want to have this guy free to prep for whatever pinky note you have next. Right, so if you're playing D major, you're going to want to have this guy ready on the C sharp to go after you play the B natural. So just be careful. Some people will hold on to the C key for dear life for no reason at all. Now, if you're one of those people whose B won't work unless you have the C key pressed down, that means that your pinky keys are out of adjustment and you need to get it fixed. It's really easy to fix unless you have like leaky keys or leaky pads down here, in which case then you got to get those replaced. But if it's just like a little bit out of adjustment, that's something that a repair tech can do like really fast. So for your sanity and your technique, make sure that your pinky keys are always in adjustment. All right, guys, so I thought I had 8 tips, but I actually only have 7 because in looking at my list, I actually listed 2 of my tips twice. So there we go. We've learned that Callie cannot count today, but I hope these tips help you guys get better at your scales. I do have a PDF that I am sharing with channel patrons and with channel members to give you guys something a little bit to practice some of these concepts on. So be on the lookout for that. Actually, If I did this right, I shared this with you already a couple of days ago, so you guys should already have it. But yeah, in the meantime, I hope you guys have a great weekend, a good week next week, and as always, happy practicing.